Yo, guys, it's your girl Lex, of course, your favorite host, Atlanta's host. That's right, with Bossing Up with Lex, checking in on Winning Wednesdays. That's right, it's Winning Wednesdays. And I got a special guest in the building for you guys today. Her name is Alyssa Cheney. That's right. She's with Silky Choice Hair. And she's going to introduce herself. She's originally from Miami, but she's here in Atlanta. Of course, Atlanta is the number one place for entrepreneurs to build their brands, to grow, and go to another level. So with that being said, Alyssa, go ahead and drop your gems to the girls and let them know who you are.
Hey everyone, my name is Alyssa Cheney. I am the owner and CEO of Silky Choice Hair. You guys, we specialize in providing women with convenience, luxury, and quality, and also let's not forget versatility. I can give you a salon-worthy look from the comfort of your home. I specialize in closure units, so you no longer have to go to the salon and waste time and deal with angry hairstylists or deal with just being unsure about your look when you leave, when you already know what you're going to get as soon as you order online and it comes to your doorstep. It's already ready to go for you, and all you have to do is get glammed up and go.
And y'all heard it here first on Bossing Up with Lex. That's right. Alyssa, go ahead and let the girls know, how can they book you? Facebook, Instagram, your phone number, your emails. The girls would like to know, especially since it's delivered at their door. I mean, you only get this opportunity, once in a lifetime. You know, everybody is not mobile and able to come to you at your convenience. So when this is being offered, this is something that you have to jump on immediately. So go ahead and let the girls know how they can find you.
So, ladies, you guys can find me on Instagram and TikTok as Silky Choice Hair. I am on both platforms. You can DM me, you can email me, you can even text my phone if it's that important, because I am here to give you the convenience of a luxury lifestyle. So make sure you guys follow me at Silky Choice Hair on TikTok and on Instagram.
Right. Guys, y'all make sure y'all follow all of those handles that she just dropped. And I got a question for you. How long have you been doing hair? Because me looking at your hair is flawless up there. So
Thank you.
I want to know, how long have you been doing hair?
So I used to sell bundles and I wanted more, and I always been into styling hair and styling wigs. So I was like, you know what? After I had my daughter, I'm like, let me just get into this. Let me just get into wigs. So really, it's been about 2 years since I've been custom making wigs. And I was self-taught. I taught myself on the sewing machine, and styling was always in me. I always knew how to style.
Wow.
And yeah, it came to me like second nature.
So you actually make your wigs on an actual sewing machine, is that correct?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Now, I don't meet a lot of people that do sewing machines, or, a lot of people do hand, but sewing machines, that's real talent. And I salute you, myself for that, and being a young entrepreneur.
Thank you.
So your passion with selling bundles, how many bundles did you used to sell a day? Because a lot of people in the hair industry or selling bundles, got hair shops, things like that, they're making money. They're making a killing. So how many bundles did you sell a day? How much was you really making a day in selling bundles?
Honestly, at the time, I was making, because I didn't have a website. So I was really doing it in the DM. So I was probably selling about 40 bundles a day, 50 bundles a day. I was selling those bundles. I was pushing them. I was pushing weight, y'all. I was selling bundles. I was selling those bundles because it was so quick and easy. And I was just telling people I got the best bundles in town. So I was making good money, but I was like, I want different. I want more. I want to pivot.
Right. Okay, that's good. So before you got into selling hair, what did you do before that? What drove you to okay, I'm gonna work for myself, I'm gonna be my own boss, I'm gonna take this hair game to the next level, I'm gonna take these bundles to the next level? What was that triggered you or inspired you?
So before I started selling hair, I used to do makeup.
Oh, wow.
I used to do makeup, and I used to do lash extensions. And I was like, I do not want to deal with people.
Right.
I didn't have the heart to deal with people, and I didn't have the heart for people to tell me that they didn't like my stuff. So I was like, I gotta get into something that I really love, and I always loved hair. I didn't want to do hair, but I loved hair itself. So that's what made me go into more of selling bundles and selling wigs.
And that's one thing I know in life. Like, when you do something you love, you enjoy waking up every day, going to that job or going to that, next level with that business that you're into, or that career that you're into. Because a lot of people think that, I just got to be an entrepreneur. Everybody not meant to be entrepreneurs. Some people got to start off as workers first and then become the boss. That's one of my favorite quotes. Before you become a boss, you have to become a worker first, because you got to understand how the boss aspect work. How does running a company work? So you got to understand how to be treated as a worker first, and then step in to run your company, because you can change things as being a worker that you was treated as, or that you was taught, that you can come into a company and be an entrepreneur, and you can do a whole 360 of that. So with that being said, what was your first 9-to-5 job that you stepped out there and did?
So my first 9-to-5 when I was 16 was McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
I was in love with that job. I knew it wasn't my forever job, but I was just in love with the fact of making money. And I'm I'm making my own money after school. And then honestly, I started becoming managers at certain fast food places. Right. And that's how I knew I had that entrepreneurial, managerial kind of instinct
you hear
in
that
me.
From herself. She's telling you she was eventually a manager in these establishments. So you can elevate from being at a certain level. It's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. Exactly. So put your all into something and know that you're going to get a lot out of it.
Yes.
Another question I had to ask you, being an entrepreneur, often it comes with its ups and downs. Can you share a moment with us where you've wanted to give up, or you wanted to throw in the towel, or maybe you wanted to just give us one of your most moments that where you I don't know if I can, or it's going to keep going, or, give us something to inspire the next person that maybe selling 2-3 bundles a day and they thinking, I ain't got to the 40 or 50 bundles a day. Give them that inspiration.
Okay. So honestly, y'all, a moment when I wanted to give up is right after I had my daughter, when I started selling wigs and I started to pivot into wigs. I didn't know how difficult that was. I didn't know, I'm oh my God, this is harder than the bundles, because I'm showing how pretty these wigs are. Nobody's buying it. Right. So I literally had to go back to the drawing board because I wanted to give up so bad. And I literally prayed and I surrendered my business to God himself. And I was like, y'all, I cannot do it without him. So honestly, I started to get the help that I needed. I started to talk to different marketing coaches. I started to put myself in different places. I even started to talk to other wig makers because I wanted to know, how can I get these people to buy my product?
Right.
So yeah, that's how honestly I started to uplift myself. But it was definitely difficult to see all these women on the internet selling what I'm selling, and I'm not making no money. I'm not selling. I'm not even getting nobody to look at me. But when I started to know my brand and I got a brand strategy and I got the right help from the right people and I started to see changes, it really uplifted me. So what I would say is go back to the drawing board, pray, and get the help that you need.
Right. That's one thing that you guys cannot ever forget when you're branding, when you're building. You can't ever forget to pray. And sometimes we want things that's not God's will. And before you pray, you got to always ask God, if this is your will, let thy will be done. Because sometimes we can want to be a chef, but God don't have that chef vision for us. Or we can want to be a hairstylist and God doesn't want us to be that. He has a different calling or a different plan for our life. So with that being said, always ask God to give you the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, and not just that. If it's your will, God, let thy will be done. Or show me what's next in my life. Lead me, guide me, and order my steps. Yes. As a wig maker, a hair vendor, has it been hard to find good quality bundles, a good vendor? Because my girls always reach out to me and they always asking me, hey Lex, how do you sell vendors? Do you know somebody sell vendors? So do you offer selling vendors to any of your, people that follow you or people that's interested in, starting in the hair business? Because it is a $1 billion industry as well.
It is. Right now, I don't offer that because I'm still sourcing myself. I have my good 5 to 6 vendors that I use.
Right.
And I know like, okay, we're good, but I want a little more. So I'm still sourcing. So what I would say, the advice that I would give is to talk to other wig makers, and they also have vendor lists as well. Because a vendor list is good, but when you're looking for a vendors list, you guys, you need to not find a vendors list that has multiple vendors. You only need about 6 vendors on that list max. If it's more than 5 to 6 vendors, do not get that vendors list.
Right. Let me ask you another question. I always be the person that, ask the question, because I always put myself in the shoes of someone else, or someone else that's watching my YouTube or watching my Instagram or TikTok, and questions that I know they probably would ask. A question that I would like to know is, as a wig maker, like, making wigs can be really, really hard, and it could be really, really time consuming as well. So you have to cater to a specific client's head, or do you pre-make them based on the size? Like, how does that actually work? Like,
so what I do is I have to cater to your head size.
so you do measurements first.
Yes, so we do measurements.
Y'all hear that?
Yes,
she said she does
measurements
measurements first. So you don't have to worry about getting a wig, because girls reach out to me all the time. You always changing your hair, and I be telling me it slides on and slides off. Like, that's what I like. I don't like all that glue stuff. I mean, I will do it from time to time, don't get me wrong, but that glue, me and glue just does not work out, because I'm sweating always. I'm always changing my hair. I'm changing my makeup. So with that being said, I like the wigs that I can, that's convenient for me. So with that being said, speaking with you, and you're saying that you cater the wigs to the client's head, so they wouldn't have to worry about a wig being too small or too little, too big for their head, correct?
No, they wouldn't, because what we would do, what I do for my company, I offer consultations before you even purchase your unit. So your consultation will consist of you asking me any beginner-friendly question, and also you getting, your measurements taken online with me. Okay. So I would assist you on, taking your measurements, so I can have the right sizes. I can make sure you doing it the right way, and we're all good.
A good question to ask you. I know you guys want to know as well. Do you require your girls to purchase hair from you before, them getting their wig made? Or do you allow girls to bring in already, purchase hair, or girls that's even starting up that just getting into the hair industry and they got bundles and they're trying to figure out, okay, I want to test this bundle, but I need a wig maker to make these bundles for me. You get what I'm saying? To make it into a wig. Do you offer people to bring in existing bundles, or you're definitely require just your bundles?
So I definitely only require my bundles, because it's a quality thing for me. It's a quality factor, and wigs are an investment. Right. So I want you to get the best of the best. Like, I offer payment plans, but I want you to have the best of the best. And if I'm offering you the best hair, that's really the only way you're going to get the best looking wig. Trust me, it's trial and error. The best hair, the quality hair, that's how you get the best looking wig.
Right. What was your journey of an entrepreneur? Like, what was your story to make you, I wouldn't say an entrepreneur. What was your journey, your story to make you hop into entrepreneurship? Okay. That's what I would more so break it down and say.
Okay, so my journey, honestly, I don't know. I was like, I had to be 14 years old, and my mom asked me one day on my birthday, she was like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, I want to sell something. I want to sell beauty something. I want to sell hair something. I'm like, I want to sell. So she was like, that's not real. That's not a thing. And I'm like, yes, it is. And literally, I just kept pushing and ran with it. And it was really divine. It was God-given, because I always been into my looks. I always been into my hair, my looks, my beauty, and everything that came into my life had to do with hair, looks, and beauty. Right. So once I really stepped into my purpose, I was really able to be like, okay, cool. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So the journey really fell from me doing makeup, me doing lashes, and then me being like, bump it, I'm just going to do wigs. I'm just going to do what I really want to do, and that's wigs, because I'm in love with it.
How long did you do makeup for?
I did makeup for about 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. Was you a self-taught makeup artist or did you
Yep.
take a training?
I was self-taught.
Self-taught. I meet a lot of self-taught makeup artists, and that's another person that I'm gonna be looking for to come on the
Self-taught.
podcast and speak with, for because there's a lot of people think, oh, I gotta take classes to
No.
get me good. No. Practice is what gets you good. Practice makes perfect, and that's what happens with over time. How long did you do lashes for?
I did oh Lord. Y'all, I did lashes for less than a year.
Right,
It was,
okay.
and I took a class
Oh,
for
so you
that.
took a class
I
for
took a
lashes.
class for that, and I was like, "This just not it." I think once I had a client, and she got up and she was like, "One of my eyes don't look the same," and I'm like, "You know what? This not for me." I'm like, I just took 2.5 hours. This is not for me because, girl, I tried.
Right.
So I
And
was
when
just
you
like,
give
no.
something your all and you try it and somebody, knocks you down, it sometimes can discourage you. And I've been in that era myself. It's all called trial and error. And I kept pushing, I kept going. But, some things don't align up with where you're supposed to be. And
Right.
if that wasn't your passion, if that wasn't something you woke up every day and say, I want to go do it. Like, you can't see yourself going to the next level with things you don't have a passion behind.
Exactly.
Another question I want to ask you, as being an entrepreneur and having a child, how do you winkle that? Like, is it easy? Is it hard? Do you have help? Like, how do you find yourself, like, in that gap with having a child? And maybe I got 10 weeks to make this day and I got
Right.
my child's school. Maybe you said you had a little girl, right? Maybe she's a cheerleader. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe she's not. I don't know. But if she had cheer practice, you had to pick her up from school, you have to make 10 units. Like, how does that actually work?
So y'all, it's hard. Like, it's hard, but it has gotten easier from when she was first born to now, and it's only been 2 years. So really, I only work on the days that she's in school or when she's with her dad. I only
Okay.
work those days. You have to have boundaries. If you don't have boundaries, you will
I
feel like
love
you're
that.
overworked. You will feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. You have to have boundaries and you have to plan a schedule. If you don't have a schedule for things, your day is ruined. You don't have organization, it's ruined. So really, I only work on the days that she's gone. And that's it. When she's there, she's there. I don't work. I don't Instagram. I don't do nothing. I'm just with her.
Wow. That's good. Undivided attention, because that's what the new generation that coming up, we have to give them that undivided attention, because we're in a generation right now where we don't know what left from right is at this point. So you want to stir your kids, in the right direction. And a lot of people always ask me that, dang, you run multiple companies. How do you factor in the family? How do you factor in your businesses? And I tell God, like, you give me the time. You align everything up according to your will. And that's one thing I always ask God for, and I speak those things in existence. And anything you ask God for, the man above, there's nothing that he will turn you down for. Right. The reason God will not turn you down for anything, because he realizes that you're his child, and he knows we're his kids, and he has a responsibility. So anything we go to our Father and we believe and we ask him for, we shall receive. So that's one thing I've been motivated and inspired, and, been able to gain the relationship to be able to ask God, like, give me that time. Give me, make my schedule like flexible for my clients, my other businesses, my child, my family, church, like, put me in positions that you never put me in before. But God, you align them according to your will and your deed, So with that being said, it is times where, as an entrepreneur, where you feel like, dang, I'm overworking myself, I want to give up. But boundaries is one thing that you can, relate to. You have to set a boundary. Okay, if I cut off at 10 o'clock, I cut off at 10 o'clock. I can't take nobody past 10. Or 10 o'clock was maybe steep. Maybe it's cut off at 5 o'clock. If you cut off at 5 o'clock, then, hey, I can't take anyone past that. So it is what it is. God, you've already blessed me with what's going to come in for that day. I'm a trust you that tomorrow is going to be even greater day. Even though I cut off at 5, I still trust it, your will. As an entrepreneur, have you ever struggled? What was your struggling process? Have you ever struggled?
Yeah, so I've struggled with my mindset plenty of times. I've struggled with my mindset. I've struggled with imposter syndrome. I've struggled with those things for a while because of the simple fact that I wanted to be so much further than what I was supposed to be. Like, I was not supposed to be further than this at this moment. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, if I would have started at 21, I would have been a millionaire by 25. Girl, no, that's not the case.
That's not the case.
That's not how it works.
Anything that comes fast don't last. And you heard it here first on Bossing Up with Lex with Winning Wednesdays. Anything that comes fast does not last. So don't expect fast money to just come to you, because fast go fast. Remember that. And I'm a firm believer, and I'm a firm person to let you know it was coming fast at some point to where I couldn't understand it. Sometimes it comes so fast you just give it away. You don't appreciate it. So God sometimes breaks us down into situations to where you have to do nothing but trust him and appreciate what he put in front of you. I want to leave you with a keyword today, because we're winding down on Winning Wednesdays, and of course Alicia is in the building. Silky Choice Hair. If you guys haven't followed Silky Choice Hair, make sure you follow it and subscribe. Book, get your bundles, get your custom wig, because right now I know she make custom wigs. I'm about to go back blonde, so I'm about to talk about some blonde units that I want, because blonde is my favorite color. I've been black for the whole summer, but it's time to change it up, guys. I want to leave you guys with an inspiring message to keep you motivated, keep you inspired, keep you trusting, and keep you believing, and knowing that if I can drop these gems daily to you guys, or I can motivate the next person and push you to going. You can share this story with someone that's on your page. So when you're struggling and you start giving up, because all of us, tend to give up when we're struggling. I don't want to do this no more. I can't, and the tongue is powerful. So whatever you speak is what you believe, and your mind is everything. So if you can't get it into your mind, you can't get it into your life. Once you do that, always remember there's hope. There's power. I can. I will. I believe. I believe in myself. I believe in my business. I believe in my career. And it's like I said, it's not all entrepreneurship. It could be careers as well. But the thing is, the belief that something is better is possible, and something is better is on the way if I trust and believe and I keep pushing and keep striving. And that's your words today from Alex with Checking In with Bossing Up with Lex on Winning Wednesdays. That's motivational talk, and we're checking out for today. Thank you guys, and stay tuned.